Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. In this video, as the title suggests, we're discussing taxation, specifically in the context of U.S. passport issuance or revocation of U.S. passports. What are we talking about here? Well, in more than one video I've done on this topic over the past couple of years, we've been discussing this issue. A couple of years back, as a result of what was called the FAST Act, the U.S. Congress passed into law an act which allowed passports to not only be refused, but also be revoked for those Americans who were delinquent in their taxes. And this will have, I said at the time, and this is I think back in 2016, that this would have staggering ramifications. Then in 2017, an announcement was made that the IRS was going to begin working with the State Department on basically verifying delinquent taxpayers and with the mind toward revocation of passports. Well, it appears that full implementation is basically here. To quote directly from a recent article from RT.com, the article is entitled, 360,000 plus Americans with tax debt may be denied passports, IRS. Quoting directly, hundreds of thousands of U.S. citizens may have to scrap their holiday plans, the Internal Revenue Service said, as it is enforcing a law allowing authorities to revoke and deny passports to those owing over $51,000 in unpaid taxes. Quoting further, the Fixing America's Surface Transportation, or FAST Act, which became a law in December 2015, allows the State Department and the IRS to refuse to issue passports to those with quote-unquote seriously delinquent debts that are defined as an unpaid legally enforceable federal tax liability of more than $51,000, including interest and penalties. That rule envisions denying first-time passport applications as well as the renewal of the travel document. And quoting further for expats, this is probably of more importance, in a worst-case scenario, a valid passport can be revoked by the State Department. Now, we have discussed this topic at length in other videos. Let me just quote again. Let me just quote from a different article here. This is from ZeroHedge.com. The title is, "You Now Can't Leave the U.S. Unless the IRS Lets You." Quoting directly, historically, governments have often been as concerned with immigration, that's with an E, as they have been with immigration, that's with an I. Quoting further, it should not be surprising then that the U.S. government is now cracking down on Americans who have outstanding tax bills by holding their passports hostage. This could affect more than 360,000 Americans. So what do we, and I urge those who are watching this video, go check out these articles because they're quite interesting, and reading this in further detail, you can kind of get a feel for the nuance of this thing. But basically, the thing to take away from this video is that we've been saying it for some time now, but yeah, it's come to fruition. The United States tax authorities are no longer interested in issuing passports to those with more than $50,000 in unpaid tax liabilities. This is going to have pretty significant ramifications. Apparently, from what I've also read in other articles, this is only the initial batch. This 360,000 is not definitive. We're not done. This is not the end of the list. That's just one part. So we could see another batch next month. We could see another batch in 6 months. I suspect that there will be an ongoing program, sort of a liaison relationship between the State Department and the IRS, where they're going to just constantly be handing over records and handing over documentation on people who are delinquent in their tax filings. As noted in prior videos on this channel, and I really do urge those who are interested in this, check out my prior videos because I go into a lot more detail about the exact nuance of how this all works. But as noted in those prior videos, just owing the money may not be enough for them to revoke the passport. One can enter things like an offer in compromise or be on a payment plan, etc., and be able to go ahead and get a passport issued. But the thing to take away from this is there has been a sea change with respect to not only U.S. tax policy, but also with respect to the policy on passport issuance It's no longer going to be a situation where they can be issued to just anyone willy-nilly. Those who are in arrears in their taxes are going to have real problems in the future getting their U.S. passport issued.